This video will be somewhat dark, given the subject matter. I want to start off by saying in no way do I mean any disrespect to the memory of the late Charlie Kirk. For me, the man was a genius, one of the greatest debaters of our age, unlike me where I'm just a masturbator. But I'll try and use humour to expose the evil of the far left, the woke brigade, the people who preach peace and love but actually have anything but that in their hearts. To start off on a positive note, the alleged shooter is now in custody, and I'm guessing he's not the sharpest knife in the drawer, because if you're going to murder a personal friend of the United States of America, don't do it in a state that still has the death penalty. Tyler, if you're guilty, and I think you are, I hope you enjoyed last Christmas because you're not seeing this one. Regular viewers will know that I have an ongoing series called People Being Awful. The reason this video is called People Being Evil is because these people are beyond awful. These are people revelling with glee that a father of two was assassinated. But I'm going to do what I do best and rip the piss out of them, because they do not deserve my anger. I'm going to mock them, and I hope you mock them with me. I want us to laugh at these people, because if you laugh at something, you take away its power. Let's fucking kick off.
Well, now that Charlie Kirk's gone, Miss Candace Owens, I suggest you stay home with your white baby and your white husband, and shut the fuck up and stay out of the limelight. Okay? Stay safe out there, girl. You gonna need it.
So that's a strong start, a rather flamboyant gentleman there, who before the late Mr. Kirk, rest in peace, is in the ground, is openly threatening a black woman. What has he got against Candace Owens? I think it's because she's a conservative, but moreover, it seems like it's because she's married to a white man. Now, the far left claim to be anti-racist, but fuck me, do they hate white people. But I think the real issue is that Candace, as an African-American woman who's extremely successful, that undermines his entire worldview. Because if a black woman can be successful, he can't blame everything on white supremacy. He can't blame all his shortcomings on American society. In effect, he might have to take responsibility for his own actions. But to that gentleman, cheer up, mate. If you'd been born 20 years earlier, you'd have died of AIDS.
And the last thing on this today, yes, I am a better person than you for celebrating the death of a Nazi. And actually, it's pretty weird that you're not, and simultaneously asking people to have empathy for the Nazi. Y'all good?
Okay, taking the moral high ground whilst celebrating a murder. And casually throwing the word Nazi in because that's what the far left does. They don't have the mental capacity to come up with anything else. Now, 150 years ago, people like that would have been lobotomised, but remarkably, in the 21st century, they've managed to have the same effect just by being indoctrinated. They don't need hammers in the side of their skull. And she thinks she's the better person. Fuck right off. How does celebrating a man losing his life with absolute glee and posting it online where everyone you know and every future potential employer can see it make you a good person? Maybe she just needs a fucking good ploughing. Maybe she just needs a man, not me, I have to emphasise, a man to empty his love yogurt up her.
Please tell me he's really dead. Please don't lie. Don't lie. Don't lie to me. Do I hear Christmas bells in the... Please tell me he's really dead.
Right. She's got leaves on the inside of her car. Motor vehicles are rarely organic. And she has the manic stare and the septum piercing of the terminally woke, openly joyous about a man's life being taken. Is that Christmas bells? No, it isn't Santa coming. It's an anagram of Santa. It's Satan, because she is doing the devil's work. And maybe if she lost the raw iron gate hanging from her nose and the stupid fucking hair dye, she might be quite attractive. On the outside, of course. On the inside, she's rotten as a pear.
Did you hear the news? Did you hear it? Mr. Potato Head himself got in Utah. I think he's still alive. What was he wearing? What was he saying to produce such animosity in people? Thoughts and prayers.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane? No, it's Captain Incel. At least we know he wouldn't be a suspect in a shooting. That boz-eyed prick, if you gave him a rifle, he'd probably shoot himself by accident. So someone lend him a gun. And thoughts and prayers? Fuck off, you godless prick. I bet he still lives at home, and when he jerks off, he's sniffing his mother's soiled panties.
The best part of this whole goddamn thing is that he is not martyr material, so his death will mean nothing. It will activate no one. It will impact few.
Such warmth and compassion. His death will mean nothing? I disagree. However, the shocking thing is, she's wearing a fucking wedding ring. What cucked bastard is married to that? Moreover, when he finally snaps and she ends up under the patio, her death will mean nothing other than a short Netflix documentary. They're really showing their hand.
The sympathy for Charlie Kirk is fucking weird. There seems to be this weird emphasis on taking the moral high ground and that you are somehow a better person if you're like, I feel bad for his family. This is the world he wanted and the world he was building. This is a white supremacist who wanted both of us dead. He was shot in the middle of saying something transphobic about trans people. And yet you want to have sympathy for him. You don't have to like violence, but I'm confused as to how you thought the revolution was going to be magically bloodless. Where is this sympathy for Palestinians, for the Sudanese people, for the Congolese, for the black people in America that are killed at the hands of police violence, for the black trans women that are being murdered for simply existing? Why does this sympathy extend to a white supremacist, but not to the communities that actually need your care? I think that people are afraid they're going to lose a part of their humanity if they don't have sympathy for somebody who is a victim of gun violence, when in reality, you're losing your humanity by allowing fascists to define your sympathy for you. While you're busy having a moral dilemma, they win. I think it's admirable to want to find the best in people and to want to continue to have sympathy for those who experience something tragic. This is the world that man wanted to live in, and while he's dead, there's a lot of folks that need that care and sympathy that are still alive.
Right, I've done entire videos on this freak before. The discount store Dylan Mulvaney. Charlie died talking about gang violence, but of course the Transformer needs to make it all about himself. And what revolution is coming? And he brings up fucking Palestine, a country where if he visited, he would be dead in seconds. Then he talks about police brutality on black Americans. Now, whenever a life is taken, it's a tragedy, but BLM campaigned for police body cams, and fuck me has that backfired. The black trans women being murdered? Where's that happening, and why is it with the woke far left? Every white person who isn't a blue-haired Marxist with they, them or zim-zer pronouns is by default a white supremacist. Why are they so desperate to be oppressed? And the word fascist is casually thrown in there. Fascist, in this case, means someone I don't agree with. And this is the wank puffin who last year was talking about the trans genocide. The only genocide in human history where everyone being murdered is still alive to tell us about it.
Charlie Kirk got shot and he's dead! Finally, somebody with a gun, which is almost everybody in the fucking States, grew a pair and fucking went and shot somebody on the right side. Thank you. Can we keep this up, please?
If I ever get an unwanted erection, I'll simply look at that woman's photograph to get rid of it in seconds. How hollow and meaningless is her life? How much hatred does she have inside? How many cobwebs does she have around her wizened vagina for her to celebrate what happened? And can someone tell her the vast majority of the gun violence in the USA is coming from the far left? In fact, if I were an American lawmaker, I would say if someone enters a store with a trans pride flag or they them pronouns or just the septum piercing and the brightly coloured hair, they don't get to purchase a fucking firearm.
So I'm going to be very fucking clear about this so that you know exactly where I stand. And I will say this with my whole entire chest. There are some people on this app that are sitting there saying, oh, you shouldn't wish death upon any person, no matter what side they're on. Fuck that. Fuck that. Charlie Kirk was a fucking Nazi. He was a fucking Nazi. And you know what kind of Nazi is the best Nazi? A dead one. Thank God that shit stain of a person is no longer in this world. And may his hell be being confronted by every single marginalized person that he hurt. That is what is fucking wrong with you. That does not make me a bad person for thinking that bad people should not be in this world. So, fuck that Nazi, and have a great day.
So there's a bitter woman who's clearly going through a midlife crisis. But with her green hair and bright orange makeup, she looks like a militant Oompa Loompa. Charlie used logic and statistics, and the far left fucking hate that. Facts and evidence that challenge their echo chambers. What a vile fucking human.
Was shot today? Charlie Kirk was shot dead today. Charlie Kirk was shot. Charlie Kirk was shot. Hey, did you know that Charlie Kirk was shot today? Charlie.
Yes, I've saved the worst until last. Can someone help me out over in the New World? Is it an offence to drive whilst using a megaphone, or bullhorn as I think you call them? The woman's not satisfied with just going on TikTok. She needs to scream it at her neighbours. What the fuck does she think she's achieving other than highlighting, look at me, I'm fucking mad? Now the thing that ties all these people together is they are celebrating the death of a man, 31 years old, father of two. The difference is, when all of those die, and we all die, no one will give a flying fuck. If you made it this far, well done. That was another dark video. However, if you enjoyed it, please do like and subscribe if you haven't already. If you leave a like, a comment or share the video, that helps the algorithm. If you'd like to support me in making these videos, and thank you to everyone who's done so already, there are links in the description to buy me a coffee and to my Patreon. And as ever, thanks for watching. And Charlie Kirk, rest in peace. Right, she's got leaves inside her car. Now, to the best of my knowledge, and I'm a bit of a fucking bollocks, bit of a petrol head. Right, so she's got leaves inside her car. Now, to the best of my knowledge, motor vehicles are rarely organic. Yet she seems fucking hell again. The thing that stands out for me though is she's wearing a fucking wedding ring. Which cucked bastard married that? I'm guessing it's someone, a sadomasochist. Someone who spends his evenings putting his bollocks in a vice and then slapping his dick on the table. Maybe she just needs a damn good ploughing, not, but what the fuck was that? Earthquake in Staffordshire? Oh, hi.